He's our SAP TRM consultant. Avinash, if you can just start with your introduction and then we can start the demo session. Thank you.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Avinash Kumar. I'm having a total of 18 years of experience into the banking and SAP TRM. I'm basically a project lead consultant. So you can say my, giving training, it's kind of hobby for me. It's a passion, you can say that. I don't know about yourself, like, are you all, into the SAP or something like that you wanted to share, or you are new to the SAP? Just I wanted to have some understanding of you. Would you mind to share your details, like just one or two liner here?
Hi Abnesh, this is Ram. Hello.
Yeah, hello Ram. Yes, hi. How are you?
This is Ram. Fine, fine. So myself is Ram, and I'm working in the banking organization, and I had 11 years of experience in the total retail banking operations, and
Very good. Hmm.
I'm very new to the SAP, but I
Okay.
had an end user experience in the banking in Finacle and FlexCube, the ERP
Okay,
tools. Okay.
that's great. That's great. No, I just tell you my recent experience. I also give a training to a team of people who really do not have any experience into the SAP. They are actually new. They have been hired from the various companies from the domain background. I given a training. Don't have an enemy SAP FI experience, FICO. I given a directly training to the SAP TRM, and they are all successfully placed into the project. So the point is, if you're, it doesn't matter for me whether you are a SAP consultant or non-SAP consultant. If you know my understanding is, like, I'll make you understand the TRM like never before, because I've already seen that a lot of institutes are there who are giving training and with that pre-configured system. So my purpose is not the same. My purpose is to make you understand the TRM. So after taking my session, you can able to do configure any of the product type, whether any product type, any configurations of TRM. You can understand end to end how the from the scratches, I would like to say, how the SAP TRM you can configure right from the product level configuration to understand transaction level, what is transaction level, what is flow type, update type, what is the use of condition type. So we'll be discussing in details all this, the items, all the product type in a detailed manner, so that even if you do not have a background of in any SAP, still you can able to understand, and you after some time you can configure yourself for any sort of product which is available. So that kind of confidence I can give it after after you take up the sessions. You can have in a position to do the configurations, understanding. I'm sure that you can doing a practice of the system, you can able to get a job into the TRM projects. Because if my point is, if I able to give the training to the people who don't have any experience SAP, so definitely you people have experience into SAP, so you can perform much better. So this is my point. Yeah, thank you, Ram. And any other
Thank you.
participant?
Yes, myself Jacob. I'm working in foreign exchange department of an Australian-based money remittance company. So I have an experience of 9+ years of experience currently. So mainly the
Great,
foreign exchange
great.
part. So nothing, no experience in SAP. We are using our own software. So I think majority of the big companies are using SAP. That's why I have a plan to study this and move to some MNCs. So I selected this. So I don't know if this configuration or the user part is more convenient to me.
That I'll take care of that. You need not to. Okay.
Because I saw in my LinkedIn that majority of the companies are looking for SAP. I attended multiple interviews, but they all required the SAP because I even don't have any understanding of this SAP, even the front end also. So they are not
Correct.
selected. So they told me that if you have some experience, then we can. So you know the things what is going on, but you don't know the hands-on experience in the this
Correct.
module.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So
Correct.
same thing we are doing this forward product spot trade remittance. Same we are doing, but we are using our own software. We have some IIT departments and we build up a software. So we are using that.
Okay.
So currently, I think it's to grow. I think SAP is good.
Correct. 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 Thank you. Any other participants?
Hi Abhinash, Abhinav with this side.
Hi, Avinav.
Hi, I have like 5.4 years of experience in SAP FICO background and 1 year
That's great.
experience in
That's
SAP
great.
banking.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I wanted to upgrade myself in TRM also.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought of taking this course. So
Okay.
this is
Okay.
about me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Abhinash.
Uh, yeah. So that's all. Or any other participants we have?
Yeah, hello Abhinash. This is
Hi.
Shilpa here. I have 12 years of SAP FICO experience. In that, only 3 years into treasury and risk management
Great.
in a
Great,
support
Shilpa.
project. So though I am
Mm-hmm.
working, so as and when requirement came, I'm working on it. But I want to
Mm-hmm.
understand like mainly
Correct.
the
Correct.
end user
Because
transactions
working.
like yeah.
Okay, you carry on,
Mechanically,
please.
I know, but I want to
Uh-huh.
understand the end-to-end process. Like why, like
Correct.
sometimes they
Correct.
say that you should do
Mm.
TM01,
Mm.
TPM1 first, then TPP1, and at what date and what that all
Okay,
I
so
want to
TPM one is
understand.
for the mark to market valuations. Yeah, okay, TPP. Okay, no problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
need not to mug up. You understand when you do things.
Yeah,
You understand how the process it. What are the flows basically? What is TPM one? What is TPM 44 for month end activities? So and TPV
yeah,
one. All these things you can see that. Yes, AU. Okay. So yeah, thank you. You already into the SAP. That's good part. I mean,
yeah,
that's all. I mean, it's good actually. So you already know about the things, but yes, you don't know the properly in a sequence manner the how the TRM it should be, how the
yeah.
sequence, how if you wanted to, if they ask you to do something,
Hmm.
some kind of testing of the product, so you don't know how the process flow would be or how the
Yeah,
configuration would be lying, what are the different month and different kind of month and activities we perform. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like as
Thank
per
you.
like product type, if it is money market is there, then the
Mm.
different processes will be there. For forex, maybe
Uh,
some other processes. So how
so
we
actually
differentiate?
speaking, sure.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Yeah. Any other participants? Okay. So first of all, I think all
Yeah,
you can. Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Good morning. Ashwani this side from Gurgaon.
Oh, hi, Ashwini.
Yeah,
How
good
are you?
morning. I'm good.
Yeah, hi, Ashwini. Tell me, Ashwini yourself.
So basically, I have a 6+ year experience in SAP FICO and
That's good.
working as a
That's good.
manager. Working as a manager in some manufacturing company.
Uh-huh.
So overall, I have a 14-year experience.
Great. Great.
So definitely I'm looking for like a TRM or maybe fund management. So that kind of things I just want to enhance my skill because till now I am only stick on FI side. But I think
Mm-hmm.
in going forward in future, you cannot be like able to survive without more knowledge in other module as well.
That is without any doubt because the way the
Right.
things are changing. Frankly speaking, FICO module, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking of the 10, 12 years back, the way the demand was there, right now, if you
Yes.
go to the another job of FICO, and if you wanted to really increase package and everything, they will not
Right.
going to think because
Right.
I had a when I tell you, last 2, 3 years back, I changed a job from one company to another company. So that point of
Mm-hmm.
time, I had a interactions with the HR, and HR told me, if you don't have those skill, normally what we try to see that if they don't have a skill of treasury, banking, we normally do not in a position to negotiate.
Yeah,
We
because if
do
you
not
are asking a
negotiate
salary for
also.
30 lakh,
Correct.
34, 35 lakhs, so then they require all the module. Like you should be able to handle fund management,
Yes, everything right.
FI,
Yes,
CO, treasury, FSCM, everything you need to know, right?
correct, correct.
So that is the
Absolutely right.
problem, and that is also better things. If you cannot like if you
Correct.
only are stick on FI, then you do not
No,
have
no.
that much work to do in a existing
No,
company,
my
right?
point of view is every 3 years, no, 2 to 3 years, you have to learn a new
Right.
module,
Right.
because the way these
And
things are
even I have
changing,
seen your
right?
previous video in the
Mhm.
other module, like MM module. So that was
Mhm.
very well explained by someone, I don't know the name, but it was very well explained. It was on YouTube. So I have that. That is why I joined your program. Maybe your institute is doing very good. So that is why.
Ah,
And I expecting same thing from you as
yes,
well.
yes, yes. So as I said, like, when I started, corporate training, so I told you my experience. Like there is a people who are from the college, you can say majority of them are college freshers, two, three them of are working in some kind of companies as articleship. So I given a training, and I was thinking like, and they are into the kind of project. It's a very tough company. So I was thinking when I have been assigned this particular work to train them, the people who don't have any SAP background, they are only batches of CA, and a couple of them are working as an chartered accountant firm, and they have to work in one of the company whose interview process is very tough. So when I have been given this assignment, I didn't know that, like, whether they will succeed, but I try my best to teach them. And believe me, they are all into a project, and they all got selected. So this is my one of my success stories here. So because I have gone through a many trainings, initially I have seen a lot of training institute who are giving, uh, in especially I don't know in India, like how they are giving a training. I tell you, it's kind of a money making things for them. They will give you a training with a pre-configured system, and complete within 2 months it will be complete. I don't know, after taking the training from those, nobody will going to get a job, because see, the point here is in the TRM market, unlike FICO, because I also started my career as an FICO long back, and then I got an opportunity to work in SAP TRM. It's by the grace of God, because that point of time, it was something like that. We have one the project where I have joined, it was like an FICTRM. So there is nobody was there. I was a lead for that point of time. I'm talking about 7, 8 years back, almost 8 years back. So since then, my SAP TRM journey has started, and it was kind of on job training, and from there I move into the TRM. So prior to that, I was an as a working as an FICO consultant. uh, but yes, when you're talking about, okay, let's talk about the what we're going to discuss, what is my course content. So we will start about the product called investment products, called money market. So you see that when you're talking about the TRM, these are the various product type called the money market products. So we trying to do, we first able to try to understand what is the business process and accounting. See, normally what happened, the accounting is very important in the TRM, because your accounting concept should be very perfect. I mean, perfect in the sense you should understand what would be the accounting things, because normally what happen in the FICO, you may be posting it to the GL account, right? And let's say you try to do some kind of GL posting, FB50, or let's say vendor invoice, customer invoice. You normally post it to the accounting entries if it is flowing from the FI. But in TRM, all the accountings are linked with your flow type and your account symbol. So here the most important part is, against each and every flow you have to understand what kind of flow it is. It is inflow or outflow. What would be the accounting entry for that? So your accounting should be, when I say I'm doing an investment, so what would be the accounting entry? So you should be in a position to understand, okay, if it is investment, it should be investment account debit, and when you're pushing sending that to the banks, it should be bank clearing account credit. So this is the thing we're going to discuss, what is the business process. So when you're talking about the money market, so money market, under the money market, we are talking about the investment. So now point is how the investment decisions come. Like normally, how the treasury should take a investment decision. So investment decision should be taken based on the example. If you have an excess cash lying in your account, it is a risk basically. So any excess cash lying in your account, it would be a risk, and you have to do the investment. So for that, what they basically they use a kind of technique called cash concentration technique. The cash concentration technique, what is happening? So there is an in SAP, we have a wonderful tool called, under cash management called cash pooling. So what happened? I mean, every corporate, let's say you have got today, five, six companies, they have they always do whenever they have to keep a minimum balance into their account, and whatever the excess balance, let's say it is an uh, let's say 10,000 minimum balance, they will keep it into account, and anything over and above from this particular account, they will pull it where? To the cash concentration account. So from the cash concentration account, all the investment decision would be taken. Now, when you're talking about the cash pooling, when you're talking about, let's say, in the two ways like funding. Now, funding would be some like another important area of the cash pooling. Whenever you take a decision about the investment decision or funding decision, there are two kind of funding. One is called funding, I mean, to the investments, funding for the investments, or let's say some companies, some under some company codes, are unable to keep the minimum balances. So what will happen in that case? If you do not keep a minimum balances, then that means you will be in a position to take the overdraft facilities because you are unable to make the payment. So in that case, what they do, they will transfer the cash, transfer the fund from the account wherever there is an excess cash, and send it to the company code where there is an they don't have the minimum cash balance position. So that way, what happen is they can take a reduce and kind of cost which associated with the overdraft facilities. So as I said, like the investment decision is, it's something like they have to take before coming to the money. Like let's say they wanted to do an investment, let's say we as a company wanted to do the investment, the first thing has to do, the treasurer has to see that, okay, minimum cash balance, anything in the account, if it is lying over, I mean, more than minimum balance, it has to pull from cash. I mean, it should be pulled from that particular current account or the account, whatever account they have, to the cash concentration account, and they will move that money into the investment. Now, when you discuss about the investment, so like as I said, the first topic would be money market fund. So in the money market, we understand what is the business process and the accounting. So under that, we will understand how to what are the things like what is fixed term deposit, because under money market there is called term deposit, there is a product type called deposit at notice, there is a product type called interest rate instrument. Now under interest rate instrument we have got many things like a both variable rate of interest, fixed rate of interest. We also have to understand what is mirroring. Mirroring is basically terminology is for use for intercompany loans. Then what are the month-end activities associated with the investment? So when you're talking about the month-end activities, let's say for the investment, uh, for the just 1 minute, please. I'll have some water. So in the month-end activities, so as I said, we also have to understand what are the month-end activities are associated with the investment or the money market. And also you need to understand, like whenever you receive an let's say interest. Now interest having a two kind of things, whether you are receiving a nominal interest kind of thing, like let's say you have an agreement with the bank, whatever the amount you are investing, let's say whatever the interest components are it, you wanted to you have to give it back, means you wanted to Let's say when you do the corporate investments, the bank will give you a lot of facilities. In the sense, normally as an individual, if you go to the bank will calculate the interest on the quarterly. But for the corporates to attract the corporate investments, so banks will give the various facilities, like they will give an interest calculation on the month. So what happened, they said you will calculate the interest on monthly, and whatever the payout will send it to your bank account. Or sometime what happened, we take and call, this is called nominal interest, where you are receiving the money to your account, the interest components on every month. Or there would be a situation where the corporate say, no, we don't need a money at this point of time. We, whatever the interest you're calculating, we'll be reinvesting the money. It's called a capitalized interest. So we have to understand all these things, how each of the cases this scenario apply, how the cash flows position gets changed. Because when you're taking back the interest to your account every month, so it's a kind of an it's kind of an inflow of cash. But when you're doing the investment, like say capitalized investment, whatever the interest you are getting, you're pushing it, sending it back to the bank, saying that I wanted to reinvest. So these are the scenarios we're also going to understand. We're also going to understand what happen if some flow types having some issue, how to reverse a particular flow type, and what are the reversal mechanism. We also going to see the various reports associated with the treasuries. Now come to the foreign exchange. We have a money market, we have a foreign exchange. We'll discuss about the, again, business process accounting, what is spot, what is forward contract. We also understand PMP, and we also try to understand, like, what are the various other activities called valuation class transfers. We also understand the point called how to convert from current to non-current. See, there is a situation when you transfer the components of money. Let's say you have taken a term loan, and in the term loan, whatever the interest, the current year interest and the future interest, so that your corporates needs those things. What is the current portion of your interest and non-current portions? So how in the SAP we're going to do those current versus non-current configurations, that we'll also see in details manner. Then we understand similar fashion, like securities. Under securities, we understand the shares, debenture, money market mutual funds, bonds, and their corporate month-end activities, corporate actions, dividend scenario, and what is PMP, position management procedures. We also take the topic called trade finance. Trade finance, it's a kind of a topic which is recently introduced by the SAP in S4 HANA only. This trade finance folder, it was not available prior. So we also understand on the trade finance, what is letter of credit process, what is bank guarantee. And then we'll understand derivative process. Under derivative process, what is caps, what is floor, how to utilize caps and floors during your investment. Say example, what are the scenarios where the caps would be used, where the floor would be used, interest rate swaps, how to use, what is the business scenario of currency swaps, hedge management, credit and risk analyzers. So this is all my standard topics. We'll be discussing in details, right? We'll do the configuration enterprise structure right from the scratches. We'll create an organization structure, create a new product type, we'll do, and we'll make it, we try to understand all these things. Not only this, we also discuss about the overview of the what is the in-house cash, overview of BCM, bank communication management, and overview of cash management. Because what is happening in the recent times, so if you go for an interview, let's say you are a treasury consultant, so they are expecting a minimum amount of knowledge on these areas, like what is IHC, what is BCM, bank communication management, what is the cash management. So I will give you overview session, but yes, in the future, actually, I thought of maybe I have a plan, like I'll try to create an end-to-end kind of a course, especially for the cash management, because cash management nowadays is having a gain very important concept to maybe not associated with this course, but I'll try to create separately the people who are, because a lot of people I find out who came to banking TRM, because now banking and TRM is a kind of an integral part of it, because you may be knowing that in SAP ECC, the bank account is a part of configurations, but now in S4 HANA, bank accounting is a part of a master data, and it's part of an now it's a part of a treasury department who will take care of this all bank account management creations, um, all this. So we will understand the details, because the people I find that they don't have an experience on what is the electronic bank statement, so and those things BCM. So I maybe future, I mean, I'm planning to do a separate course for those people who do not have an end-to-end understanding on the how to create a file on electronic bank statement, EBS file, how to test independently, because these courses, when you're talking about it's a huge course, because I'm not able to accommodate those things, so I'll be creating a separate things for that. Okay, now come to that. Mm, so this is my course curriculum for that. So if you have any questions, any doubt.
Yeah, Avinash. Just
Mhm,
one query here. Like in this course,
mhm.
I thought BCM and your that uh, cash management is also included, because
Yes,
I
yes,
think
it's included. It's included. But the point
okay.
is, we
Uh,
will see in the BCM, you may be knowing that BCM is a kind of very small activities, correct? No? If you
yes, yeah.
understand the small activities, like what is the use of BCM? Basically bank statement monitors, right? And basically your acknowledgement, cash and acknowledgement, payment margin. So many companies I have seen that they will go with their own stuff, and they may not go with the BCM. So yes, we'll discuss as an overview, because this course, the way I have designed, it has got a lot of things in treasury. So as an overview, we'll going to discuss about the even cash management. We also discuss it, but it is not in kind of ordinary overview. It would be great overview. So you will understand the BCM functionality, how it works. So yes.
Yeah, and because
Mhm.
by business process we can understand, but like for configuration point of view also, like
No, no,
there
we'll
would be
discuss
some.
about the config, because
Okay.
there is hardly, if you're talking about the bank communication management. So there are two things. One is the DMEs, and one is this is workflow. Correct.
Mhm.
Because status file, it would be for that. In order to get the status file from the bank, we have a standard program available. So there's a little a bit adjustment required to get the file. So get the file, I may not able to show you in the system, but the what are the other stuff the BCM? BCM has got a 5-6 configuration of the BCM. So that would be like, one would be like, you basically define for the what is the BCM, how to identify the BCM components when you run the F110. And first is another thing is you activate the workflow. I mean, you activate the business functions. And then if you see that BCM has got a very limited configuration, but we're going to discuss about that. Any other
Yeah.
points?
And Avinash, like for the CLM part, we will be touching the Fury app aspects also.
Obviously, obviously.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Because otherwise that old stuff,
Mm.
it is not basically user friendly. If you see that that old tree code for where we are pulling the cash position and liquidity forecast is not been used by, because now SAP is also recommend not to use that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Avinash.
So, Abhi, what version of Treasury are we using? Like the latest version?
2020
Okay, and you are going to give us the material for the that
handmade,
is given
my
by
handmade
SAP.
mail,
Yeah.
my handmade
Okay.
materials.
So
Okay,
sorry, say it
so
again.
I'm saying my handmade material I'll be providing, because
Okay.
after taking my session, you can able to create your stuff from the scratches. Only you have to understand, once you understand the one product type, because in TRM the configurations are all same. So we call it as in, now I may have segregated the configuration. Okay, let me open my system and I'll show you something. But however,
No, no,
before that, do you have
uh,
any?
yeah, yeah, I understand that. What I am saying is that we have standard SAP material for all the modules, like
No,
AC
I don't have
120,
those.
141. Okay.
No, I don't have those kind of ready-made material to provide you. But as I said, uh, whatever I am teaching, if you can able to understand, maybe SAP standard document, if you go through that, you may not able to understand. So that is like, they will discuss. And if you wanted to see, even if you go to the SAP HELD document, uh, it will give you at the broader level. I don't know, I mean, whether you have experienced the SAP even HELD document. uh, you don't, but standard
Not,
practices documents, standard practices documents are there. I don't think that you have to touch upon those standard docs. Okay,
so
because what
you
we're
are
going to
saying that
discuss. hmm, Tell me.
your material is more than enough to cover all the
Yes,
treasury.
yes,
Okay.
yes, because as I said, uh, whatever the content I have created, the way I'm going to share you the configuration stuffs, that would be
Mm-hmm.
more than enough to understand, and you can make your own configurations from the any product type in the future without taking
Okay.
any help.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're talking about that SAP, now in the SAP, these are the various products, like we can say that money market, forex, securities, listed derivatives, OTC. Now this trade finance is an, as I mentioned, it's a recent development of the SAP. Earlier in the ECC version, you may not see this product called trade finance. This trade finance came in only in S4 HANA. Now, when you're talking about the any product type, when you're talking about the product type, so we have got a standard configurations available. Like you can see that when you go, so these are the various folder. So now if you go to the folder, okay, go to the folder. Now these are called standard configuration. This configuration, even if you see it in the foreign exchange, this configuration is almost same. Like product type, transaction type, flow type, update type, condition types. So in SAP TRM, the main configurations, there are basically two kind of configuration, I would say. So one is called product level configurations. So what is the product level configuration? Product level configuration, it start with the product type, then transaction type, then the flow type, then the update type, then condition type. Now, apart from that, there is another configuration called account determination level configuration, which I given a term as an account determination level. Now, you go to the account determination level and you can see that link to other component. So these are the various configurations. Setting for position management position, general valuation class, account assignment reference, determine account assignment reference determination, and account assignment. So these are the two level of configuration in the TRM. As I said, one is called product level configuration and other is account determination level configuration. But what happened is when you're talking about the TRM, there is basically no link. Like, what happened is in TRM, you do the product level configuration and then you, after completion of that, you go to the account determination level configuration. In order to link this between this, there is called derivation logics. So in the derivation logic, what we'll do, we're trying to link the product level configuration with the account determination configuration. So when you do the accounting posting, the TBP one, the system will generate the account determination. System will do the debit credit posting automatically. Because in TRM, we are not doing any manual posting like FICO, like you will see that FB50 or like FB60, you go there, select the GL account. That kind of thing is not happening because everything is defined. Like in FIMM, you see that in OBYC setting, you can define the account determination. So like that in TRM, there is an account determination where you have to set against your flow types to update type and update type to account assignment reference, and that link to the posting specification, and there you define your GL account. So So that's what I say, like, these are the standard configuration. You don't need to go to that any books, any material in a future. If you understand this standard configuration, how it works, you don't need anything. You can directly in future, you can configure your things. So the way I teach, I'll explain you each and everything. What are the different product types? So when you go to the product type in the SAP, like, example, let's say we go to the money market. Now the money market, if you go to the product type, so we'll discuss about all this product. So what is 51A? 51A is basically fixed term deposit. 51 is a basically term deposit. But what happened when you actually work for any project, you're not going to use the standard product type. So you're not going to use the standard, because standard product type we never use for any project. It is always based on the requirement. I'll give you the one of the requirement of the event. Let's say your customer said, okay, we have a two kind of investment. How it is, the investment would be, we wanted to do the investment in the fixed deposit in the two way. One would be within 365 days and more than 365 days. Now, if this kind of requirement comes, it is not possible for you to use the standard requirements to copy the standard product type. So in that case, what you can do, that you can create a two different product type. As I show you, I have created like this. Now if you see this, how I have designed the product type, I created a new product type. The product type would be like term deposit more than 365 days, term deposit less than 365 days. So this is the way you have to design your product type in a unique way, whatever the way the requirement comes. So your customer will say that we wanted to segregate in a three-way, long term, medium term, short term. Then you have to create your product type in that way. So in cases, we normally do not use the standard product type. We always copy the standard product type and create our own way based on the requirement of the client. Okay. And based on this way, when I created this product type in this way, so my accounting determination will change. Now I'll create a two different GL. One GL would be, short-term investment or a investment within mean investment, current investment, non-current, or I can create investment for more than 365 days, term investment less than 365 days. So this is where your uh, TRM consulting skills will come into picture. Okay. So whatever so far we have discussed about this, what is the SAP's system, how the product type would be. Now you go to the product type. Now if you see that there are various product type, like it's a 51A, 550, it's an interest rate instrument, then deposit at notice. So these are various these are the part of, as I mentioned, all this part of money market product. So under the money market product, you have a different product called commercial paper, deposit notice. Now what is deposit at notice? Deposit at notice is a kind of very popular in US kind of market. So what happen is, you do not have, you go to the bank, you say that this is a cash I wanted to invest, let's say 1,000 million. Okay, but I wanted to take the investment anytime. So now what will happen whenever you have those kind of requirement, how are you going to fit into that? You're going to fit into that deposit and notice kind of thing. So here what happened, like your money market instrument, like fixed term deposit. When you talk about the fixed term deposit, it's basically the term is fixed. Let's say I wanted to do the investment for let's say for 3 months. I want to do the investment for 4 months. But when you're talking about the products, when you're talking about the requirement from the client, they said, I have the investment. They go to the bank. They say they go to the Citibank. I have this investment, but the requirement can come anytime. So you can do the investment and you give interest on daily basis. So whenever this kind of requirement comes, you cannot use the term that is called fixed term deposit product type. Rather, you have to use the product type which is called deposit at notice. So this is some kind of example I just wanted to give it to you, like based on the different requirement. Like at that point of time, when let's say the late credit, it's very kind of regular stuff. I mean, used by the corporate treasury, like But what happened is that point of time there is no such product type. So what normally people used to do, they will try to take some kind of product of money market and try to create a product and do some kind of enhancement into the product so that it should look like an letter of credit or bank guarantee. So the point, if some of the product type you have to use, you have to understand how the behavior of the each type of product, whether it's a term deposit or deposited notice or commercial paper or forex, let's say for spot, or so based on that you have to take a call how this to be used. Now when you're talking about the derivative products, now derivative product is a kind of thing which is also called underlying asset. When you're talking about the underlying asset, what do we understand? So let's say how you understand the derivative products, let's say caps. Let's say you go to the bank and you say that, okay, we wanted to do the investment but not now, we wanted to do the investment in the month of March. So you go and ask to the bank, you said, what is the rate of interest? The bank said, right now the rate of interest on the fixed deposit is, let's say, 5%. But if you wanted to do the investment in the month of March, I am sure whether you can get the same rate of interest on the investment. So in that case, what you can do, but bank can give you an option. You said you can do one thing, you can buy a derivative product from us. So you buy the product from us. So tomorrow, if you come, let's say in the month of March, if you come, whatever the rate of interest prevailing today, I will give you the same rate of interest for that day. So in that case, for the investments, you are using the derivative products. Why you are using? Because you may be thinking like tomorrow, if you want to do the investment, the rate of interest could be lesser than the current, so you don't want to take a risk. So like that, we have to understand, business processes, how the derivative products can be used, how the caps and floor can be used. Or let's say there is a situation like, let's say you have a term loan with a fixed rate of interest. Now, the situation would be you have taken a term loan from the bank with a variable rate of interest. Now the variable interest is shooting up like anything. Like you may be experienced, like if you have taken any home loan, the home loan would be the rate of interest would be 9 to 9.5%. So you are expecting, like in the going forward, the variable rate of interest would be shooting up. Maybe it will go to the 10.5% to 11%. You are expecting it would make to the 11.5%. So in that case, you may thinking like, if I would have gone with the investment call, if I gone with a fixed rate of interest, I would be in a much better position. So what you can do, you can go and buy some kind of interest swaps. So interest swaps is a kind of products. What happened? There are two people. One people, like there are two different corporate. They feel that, okay, I have taken a loan in variable interest, but the variable interest rate would go up in future. So rather I should go with a fixed rate of interest. Like my case, let's say I feel that I've taken a corporate loan, so it is variable interest. It is now 9.5. I may thinking it may shoot up to 11.5% to 12%. Another corporates, they already have able a similar kind of loan with a fixed rate of interest at a 9.5%. So what you can do in that case, you both come to an agreement that both you can swap their rate of interest. So what you do, you will be going to make the interest payment of interest as a fixed rate of interest, and the other party, he will pay the variable rate of interest. So in that case, bank should come into picture. You cannot go and do this agreement like that. So bank will into picture. So with the help of the bank, both do the parties will swap their rate of interest. So these kind of business understanding you should have, because when you go for the interview, so these are the scenarios they're going to ask it, and they will ask you how you're going to manipulate the accounting entries. So I will discuss all these things normally in my sessions, like, when you're using interest rate swaps and you're using already interest rate instrument, how you basically have to manipulate the accounting entries. Because let's say in this situation, you are not going to make the payment to your bank account. You're going to make the payment of interest to some other bank account where the agreement happened. So we'll discuss those things in details so that you understand the business processes and accounting and end-to-end treasury concepts. So, so I thought of, so this is all about. So anything more you wanted to, understand or things? I thought of to end these things here. However, if you have any questions, you feel free to ask me.
Yeah, Abhi.
Mhm.
Are you going to provide us with a sample of functional design document?
What do you mean by that? Like you need my
Well,
my company?
no. When we go to the client and we prepare a functional design document that is a very specific document that is a
Mhm.
deliverable. So
Mhm.
I need to see a sample functional design document. You can block
I
out.
will not give you, I will make you understand as a TRM consultant so that you yourself can prepare all the FSD. Got my point? See, here you try to become an
No, there is a
expert in
sample
TRM.
format. There is a
No,
sample format, right?
no. I will not able to provide you anything about that, but I will make you as a treasury consultant so that you can create those FSD document by your own. Okay. So this is the things what I can give it, because FSD design documents, as I said, like, you have to understand the requirement. My purpose is
No,
very
no, I
simple thing.
understand that. It is a very simple thing. Once you go in a project, whether it is
Mhm,
FICO or business consolidation,
mhm,
this is the
mhm,
first deliverable that you give to the client.
mhm.
And it is like a basic thing. You need to have, if you have a sample wherein you are stating where the data is
That's what
coming
I'm saying,
from,
my
how.
friend. That's what I'm saying, my friend. You don't need to think of any such thing, because once you understand the configuration of it, you yourself can create. Now you tell me, if I going to ask you tomorrow, you are in a FICO, project. If I ask
Avinash,
you
I
to
think we were
create a
talking
report,
about BVP.
huh? So my company's BBP, I cannot give you, but I can make you understand what kind of scenarios I have deal with that.
So any chance to get a hands-on experience in that software, like rather than seeing and studying, is there any dummy module to get a hands-on
No,
experience?
you don't need. That's what I'm saying, my friends. You
Uh-huh.
don't
Okay.
need anything. You don't need FST document, anything. You understand from my perspective. I will share my project experience, how it is happening.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Creating an FSD document, you can prepare yourself in the future. What is
Okay.
there? Let's say if I say today, I make you understand as a TRM consultant. Tomorrow, if they say, okay, prepare a document for the fixed term deposit, you have to bring all the configuration which I've shown you, right?
Okay. Understood.
If you understand all the configuration right from A to Z, which is there, you yourself can create the document. I will discuss those things, but you don't need to break your head on the FSD document, BBP document. Nothing is required. You would be in a position after taking the course, you would be yourself will going to create those documents by your own.
Not the documents, that software hands-on experience. Say, oh, what this is here, this is here. That hands-on
Correct,
experience in the,
correct.
uh, that
That's
we
what
need
I'm
to.
saying. When you discuss, we discuss in details about all this configuration step, how this is working. Let's say, as I said, like there is a two different kind of product type if the requirements come. So I will discuss this particular scenario.
We are seeing this in the that presentation only. No, we don't know where is the link, where we have to go.
Correct, correct, correct. For that, I will show you end-to-end configuration of it.
Uh,
So
Like
Abhinash, we
what are
will
the
also get
configuration?
this. Sorry,
Mhm.
Abhinash, we will also get the system to perform the same.
Obviously. Otherwise, how are
Yeah,
you going
that
to
I
learn
think
it?
his question is same. Like
that's why I meant. That's why I meant by
his
that. We
question
will
is
get a system to
Obviously,
do all this.
whatever I am doing the configuration, similar way you have to do the configuration. Otherwise, you're
Cool,
not to
cool, cool.
learn the things.
That was my doubt.
Hmm. But you do not need any BBP document. You don't need a FSD document. Nothing you
It's okay.
require.
It's okay. Yes, 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 yes. It's okay. It's okay. So
I just
I
try
believe
to
this is
make you
the 60.
understand.
How much hours
Yeah.
course? How much hours?
See, I may need more hours to cover the course because we are
Mhm.
discussing from the scratch, right? From the
Uh-huh.
enterprise structure creation to product type creation, all these things we're going to. I am
Uh-huh.
right now maybe expecting it should be more than 40 hours. I'm expecting
Okay.
between 50 to 60 hours.
Like daily or only on weekend?
That we'll discuss it.
Okay, fine.
So anybody has got any doubt, say example, that's why I'm saying to you all, you need not to worry about, even if I'll give you all the configuration step. If tomorrow any such requirement comes, you can prepare based on my documentation, you can
Yeah,
prepare
yeah.
the BBP document.
So another question I have up here is
Hmm.
like for S4 HANA, we are using the AgDoca and AgDoc-U table. So is there a separate table for treasury or it is all going to AgDoca table?
All are same, right? AC Docker.
Okay.
Because all the accounting posting is happening into the AC Docker table. But treasury having a different tables altogether, where
Okay.
it is not only dependent on AC Docker, it has got a, for the master data, it has got a different. But when you're talking about the accountings are all get saved in BSEC and AC Docker.
Okay.
Okay. But if you wanted to see the reports, like what are the deals, you have to go to the different tables altogether, which is not an AC Docker. Okay. Any other questions? So guys, you don't get, you know, I mean, what I'm trying to say, even if I'm not able to provide you any my personal BBP document, you need not to worry, because all you are coming here to learn the TRM and you can perform well. You understand the subject and you yourself can create everything. That is my point. Any doubts here? Because I take care of the courses. It's my headache to make you understand all the configurations so that tomorrow any sort of damps you get it, you can configure by yourself.
Avinash, I have also one question regarding that. Like, if
Hmm.
you are a consultant, any module, like if currently if I am in FICO module,
Hmm.
so if I will switch for TRM, so how much beneficial it will be for me to going with TRM and keeping FICOs alive, right? Because if we are
See,
switching on different flows, so that will be good or not?
first of all, now
Yes.
there is a huge requirement for the treasury and risk management consultant. Okay, there is no consultants are available. So if you are already know the FICO subject, you have to, as I said, every 2 years or 3 years, you have to learn a new topic. So if you learn a TRM as niche, another new skill, you can add it to your resume, and future, who knows, you may get in your existing company also to opportunity to implement SAP TRM module.
Right.
Because why, what we can not do? say example, today in your company, I am sure that they are taking a decision on investment. They all do all the corporate functions. It may possible many companies I have seen that corporate function, treasury corporate function, they are not performing at the SAP level. They are performing maybe some other system or Excel. So if once you learn things, you can give your corporate these things like what are the benefits of moving into the corporate a TRM module in SAP. What you cannot do in SAP FICO, let's say if you are in your company, this is only FICO module, and your manager say that no, we wanted to do some investment. You try to find out in FICO module, so you can make it a note like what you can do using FICO, up to what extent we can capture those investment, and what is the benefit of taking the investments module like TRM module. What is the advantage? Because first of all, the thing is, if you wanted to if you are not implemented SAP TRM in your company, you have to highlight the benefit of using SAP TRM module. Because when you go to the SAP deals, you
I
can
understand. I
understand.
understand. But my basic question, like if you're proposing someone to implement this module, that module, question is that people are much aware, like concerned with the cost for that purpose, right? So if you are like proposing that we should implement TRM module, so then definitely they will ask the cost, because definitely it will licensing cost will be there for TRM module. So how we will make
Now
them
the
agree
question
that
is, I
yes.
understand your point. Now the question is, now in S4 HANA, or if you wanted to use the cash management, you have to take a licenses, separate licenses called advanced cash management, and TRM is included in the advanced part of advanced cash management. So the point is, if going for the S4 HANA, right, you do not have any other options except to take, you cannot take the BAM Lite versions. Because what happen is you have a latest features in the bank account management, cash management, because cash management is a basic and core functionality of any treasury operations. So
Right.
if you wanted to utilize the cash position, cash pooling, because cash position, you have to see the what is the cash position of your current banks. I mean, what is the cash position? And you have a liquidity forecast. But it is not only the thing. You wanted to take an decision on internal funding, then you have to take the full-fledged license of cash management, which having cash pooling functionality. As I said, cash pooling functionality is a first step before you go and take a decision on investment. Because via the cash pooling, you basically remove all the excess cash more than your minimum cash balances to the investment account, to the cash concentration account, and from there all your investment you route it. You are not going to individually do the investment, let's say company code wise. What you can do as a all the company group together, you do the investment, so that you can get a better rate advantage. So now if you already have a license available for the cash management, advanced cash management, the treasury is a part of it.
Right, right. So
And
we will also expect this.
another thing is you think of a reporting integrations. You can see everything in the same system. And most importantly, cash, I mean, your TRM can be linked with the cash position. So you can get the better reporting. Like otherwise, if the all system are in the discarded manner, like, in a scattered manner, how are you going to see the position? You cannot see. You have to pull all the data from the different system, and you have to build a different system to get the exact case, and that also you will not get it. You have to take some data from different system, and you have to build a third party system. You load the data every time, and then you can see the cash position. But here in SAP, you can see everything in a SAP system, right? It would be kind of
So
real time.
is it different from central finance?
Central finance is something else. Central
Okay.
finance is like, it's something else. It's different.
Okay, fine. And
Other questions?
what about the fund flow and cash flow? We will also see that one is this training.
Cash flow, fund flow is not a part of the TRM, right?
Okay.
You're talking
Because
about
if
the, you're talking
no,
about the
my
financial
my
statement.
my assumption yes, I understand, but my assumption is that how will know that what is your requirement? Like what is your fund flow? What is your cash flow? Cash flow is basically a
Cash
requirement, future
position,
requirement.
that
Yes.
is called cash pooling. You maintain
Yes.
the minimum cash balances, and based on that, you pull out
Hmm.
whatever the excess cash you have, you pull out and put it
Okay.
into the cash concentrations. You
Okay.
don't
Fine.
need the cash flow, fund flow. That is an old concept.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. Any other
So,
questions?
so how long are we going to have this system access? Like for 3 months, 6 months,
I
or what?
think these discussion you can do with the Sana. She can give a
Okay.
better explanation. Up
Hello.
to my course is over, you will have this access, right? In a short, if I
Yeah,
answer it
Abhinav.
the other way.
Hello. Hi, Abhinav.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Bhaskar. Actually, one doubt
Hi,
I have,
Bhaskar.
like this
Mhm.
training course and all will be in the point of S4HANA point of view, or is it in ECC?
Obviously, S4 HANA. S4
S4HANA.
HANA.
Okay.
No ECC. No ECC. We are not discussing anything. ACC is gone now.
Okay. Okay. So
No,
the
I am
interviews
not
and all
saying
will be on.
against that ECC. I'm not saying ACC. What I'm trying to say,
Hmm.
ECC, there's no point to doing something in ACC.
Okay. So the interviews and all will be on S4HANA point of view only, most of the
Obviously.
interviews. So
Obviously.
Treasury also, I am not sure whether what kind of questions we may expect in the S4HANA point of view. That is the reason I asked.
Nothing. No changes much.
Okay.
Except the trade finance.
Uh-huh. So in case of practicing, suppose after these 2 months, whatever access you are given, after that, can we do in our own system, or we have to buy another server, or we should take the rent for server?
If you have an
Or
S4 HANA system, go with that. If you have got a, say, ECC, you
mm,
try to get, if you have in your laptop S4 HANA server, do that.
mm. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Abhinav this side. Just one question here. For
Mhm.
IHC in-house cache, like what are the topics and how we are going to cover it? Like you
First
said,
of
we are
all,
not going to.
IHC end to end, I'll not going to cover because
Okay.
IHC, it has got a huge thing required to do. We do not have an IHC system inbuilt. So what we can do, I can give you the overview of the IHC thing. Like normally, if you understand the different scenarios of IHC, like POBO scenario, intercompany netting, receipt on behalf of, direct debit, bank to bank transfer. So this, all this scenario we're going to discuss and including EOD activities.
Okay.
But that would be overview. I cannot show it into the system. I'll make it very clear. I
But
cannot show
like
any of the
you can
scenario.
you are going to provide us the at least the scenario, like the business process, right?
Obviously, I have
Yeah.
I will give you the complete business process. In case of POBO, what will be the accounting entry, how the data will get flow. All these things you will understand.
Okay.
Yes. Because getting an IHC, and IHC is a different topic altogether. Because that will require kind of month of things. But yes, you get a much better overview so that you can understand the IHC. Any other expectations from you?
No, Abhinav, but just I was thinking like the business process, and at least we should know the end-to-end process. Means not
Correct.
the
You'll understand.
configuration.
You'll get that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be part of overview session, you understand. But if you're expecting end-to-end understanding config, that is not possible.
Yeah, means we have some constraint in our system, right? That's why we are not
Correct.
going.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
You need a lot of things to make the
Mm.
system ready. You need a basis, you need a above. That's the reason.
Okay. Got it, Avinash. Thank
And we also not going to discuss an end-to-end configuration. See, first of all, these entire courses will be taking a lot of time. Okay. So again, doing the things end-to-end, it will be because it will be kind of an another 7-8 month session. It will not possible.
you. Got it.
In future, if we able to do any training separately for the IHC, I love to inform you.
Yeah. Okay, Avinash. Yeah, got it.
As I said, like I am coming up with another courses called electronic baggage because I'm not able to going to because the way I've designed the course, the way I'm taking end-to-end configuration, really, it is taking a lot of time to understand. It will take a substantial time for me. Rather than I'll show in the pre-configured system, it will be at least for me it's a 1 month course. I'm not trying to do that way. So
Mm.
since this is course I have designed to make you right from the enterprise structure to create each and every product by your own, that's why it's taking a lot of time. And on top of that, it's not possible, frankly speaking. And I'll tell you, after learning these things, you can able to configure any product.
Yeah. Got it, Avinash.
Any other questions? If not, then we can wind up the session here. Anybody
Okay,
has any
thank
other
you.
questions for?
No, Abhinash, from my side.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.